and welcome to Always a Girls' Night.
Oh, we're getting so much better at that. Oh, I'm so proud. When we first started, that was
a struggle.
Yeah.
Big struggle. We want to start by giving a big shout out to Alicia Nicole's design for designing her new artwork. It's super cute.
It really is.
She
did an amazing job.
She really
Thank
did.
you so much. We really appreciate it.
It really represents us more now.
It does, yeah.
And she really took our vision to heart. That was pretty cool. Thank you.
The details were really, really nice.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. I don't know how many times I can say thank you, but...
Gracias mucho.
Yeah.
So today we are talking about...
Body image.
I think it's
a big topic.
It's a big topic,
yeah.
So
I feel like,
be ready.
I feel like it's something that we all think about on a daily basis. If it's not individually, it's more socially. It's a really big topic, and I think it's something that a lot of us struggle with. Yeah. And it's sad, you know. Like, for example, like our grandparents, I don't think they ever had to like really deal with those things because they didn't have.
I thought about that. Actually,
I thought about that because like now, like you're constantly surrounded by body image. Like you go on Instagram or you go on Facebook, and you constantly see pictures of other women or men. Like you see pictures of other people all the time, and it's you're constantly constantly reminded about something you either don't have or something you have or.
But they were in that phase where Marilyn Monroe was a thing.
Yeah.
And like her curves and stuff was starting to be more accepted, I guess.
Yes.
So I think they probably did struggle with it.
I agree, but not to the extent as we do today.
Oh, for sure.
Because they weren't surrounded by it.
That every
exactly.
Day.
They weren't. Like they would just see it in like news articles or on the paper. Like my grandma, like I remember like she didn't give a shit like
really?
at all. Like she didn't. She was like, I didn't care.
I'm probably sure my vocal didn't care.
That's what I'm saying. Like they never told me twice. Anytime I talk about like my body image, they were just like, oh, stop with that. Like stop.
Oh, okay.
You know, like they were like, you know, like it's not a thing type thing, you know?
Wow, I've never had that conversation with her.
I have, because I've asked. I'm like, how did you feel about that, you know? And like I feel that's like something that like we have to struggle a lot with because it's a constant reminder in our everyday life.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially now with the pandemic, like
I feel like you have more time to reflect on that.
Yeah, like you don't have time to like go out and like there's no distractions. You're always alone with yourself,
and you're always exposed to social media as well, because I feel like that's what everyone does now, is just go on social media and compare themselves. And that's one thing you have to be careful, is to be aware of who you're following, you know?
Yes.
I've made a couple of unfollows throughout the COVID phase, because there's a lot of girls that, you know, if they don't make you feel good about yourself, just don't follow them. Yeah. Because it's going to be worse for you.
I agree. Or even try, like, what I did was, because I felt like I was lacking reminders on, like, just taking care of myself. I feel like sometimes we forget about that. We forget about how we talk to ourselves.
It's very easy to forget about that.
Yeah, we get distracted. We always put other people before ourselves, and we forget about us. And at the end of the day, we are super important, and the way we talk to ourselves reflects on us either being positive or negative towards our body image and just our goals and just our whole take in life in general.
Exactly.
Shit, I forgot where I was going with that.
But yeah, you just be careful with yourself, you know, take care of yourself, and we'll go more in depth with that.
Oh, I was gonna say, I was looking at quotes on Instagram. So what I did was I started following like poetic quotes, positivity, and like just things that enrich yourself more instead of bringing you down.
Yeah. It's very important, actually.
Yes. Very.
So,
yeah, we're gonna get into the nitty gritty.
So we all have our struggles, you know. I think this is something everyone has, you know. Like,
I agree. Something that we always want to change. We always compare.
That's the problem. Yeah. Like, comparing is the absolute worst, and I think this is the main reason why we're struggling with stuff, you know. You always want to have like this girl's body or this guy's abs, or you want to be like, you want to have long hair, short hair, and then the other person wants what you have.
Yeah.
And you want what the other person has. So, you know, it's always a vicious circle. And I don't know, I think people should talk more about it on social media, you know? You often see girls posting bikini pictures and stuff, and that's totally fine, to be honest. Like, embrace your body, but I think people should remind their followers that, like, I have struggles too, and I'm exposing my body to show you that I'm
like
confident.
Yeah,
you know, and you should be as well.
Yeah. And another thing too that I find is very important are angles, you know, especially if for a photo. I mean, we all have our certain angles where we can make our bum look big or make our stomach look flatter and look like they have abs. Even now, there's edits. Like, you have to keep in mind that people edit their well, not everyone, but some people can edit their picture and perceive something that they're not.
Exactly.
So
a pimple can easily be erased from a picture, you know, and you'll never know.
Exactly. So that's why the word oh my god. So the word perfection does not exist.
It does not.
It doesn't.
In any situation, no. It doesn't. No. You can never be perfect. You can be perfect to someone. Yeah. You know?
Or to yourself.
Exactly. But... Je sais même pas ce que j'allais dire.
C'est un struggle, là. But you can never be perfect in the sense that, like, the image that is portrayed in social media is false. And that's not real.
It's not, like, attainable.
No.
You can't be, like, you can't have that, like, hourglass shaped body with, like, long hair, beautiful eyes, perfect eyebrows, a full lip set. Like, you can't. It's impossible, and I think everyone should acknowledge that so that you'll feel better about yourself. You know?
Exactly.
So we all have our struggles, and we have some as well.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit about our journey
with struggles and how we got through them. You want to start?
Yeah, sure. Mine is kind of like a pretty heavy topic to start off with. For myself, it's more on like how I've perceived my body. In the sense that, like, it's always been, like, growing up, it was always super hard for me to embrace how much I loved my body. Like, people would tell me, like, all the time, like, how much they loved my figure and stuff like that. And, like, to me, it's like, I never believed what they were saying. It was always like, yeah, thank you, but, like, it was like, to me, it was like, no, like, it's not like that. Like, you know, I never believed it. And so, like, for example, like, Emily always reminded me of how, like, it was not like that. And it's just, like, I've grown to embrace my body and be more kind to myself, because I was super negative towards my thoughts, and just, like, anytime somebody said something, I just disbelieved, or and I really struggle with that. So this came into perspective when I started CJEP. I started an eating disorder. I was so consumed with being skinny and, like, having a flat stomach. Like, I had curves, but what really got to me was just my stomach. Like, I never felt like I was skinny, even though I was, but to me, like, I never felt that I was. So this affected my image, because I was constantly just saying, no, I'm not skinny, and it kind of just, it furthered my eating disorder to the point where, like, I was not feeding my body. Like, I would get up in the morning and I would go to class, like, early morning. I wouldn't even eat. Like, I would just have coffee, and then afterwards, like, when I would be done my class, like, because beginning of semesters, I always took, like, early classes to get home earlier, and then at, like, 2, I would eat, like, a small bowl of cereal without any milk, but, like, healthy cereal, but it was so small. The bowl was, like, it was, like, a little, like, ice cream bowl, like, very, very small.
Yeah.
And then, like, afterwards for supper, I would use, like, the smallest plate we had. Instead of, like, using a big plate, I would downsize my portions in half, like, completely. And then after that, I wouldn't eat nothing for the rest of the night. And to me, I thought this was okay. Like, I thought this was something...
that was going to help you.
Exactly. I thought, like, I would feel happier. But then, like, after a while... my grandma was like, wow, you're super skinny. Like, we're almost seeing your bones. And, like, to me, that was a bit of a wake-up call, because I was, like, I kept telling her, like, no, I'm not on a diet, when really, like, I was just lying to myself and her. I was just not, like, eating. And my grandma knew that. It's like she was reading me. And it kind of, like, woke me up a bit. And I saw an image later that someone had taken. It was, like, in Christmas time. It was, like, a family picture, and I looked at it and I was like, wow, like, I don't look the same. Like, I was seeing, like, my bone structures and stuff, and, like, I was understanding where people were coming from when they said that, like, I looked really skinny. And then I started losing personal aspects that I loved about my body. Like, to me personally, like, I embraced certain aspects that I really enjoyed about my body, and I was losing them. So that was another wake-up call to myself, that I'm losing myself. And I think that's something that's very important when you go through an eating disorder, is that you really need to, no matter, like, just because you're not feeding yourself, it doesn't mean you're gonna get skinny. Like, you will, but you're being super unhealthy. Not a good skinny. No, it's not at all. And, like, when I look back at pictures at that time of my life, like, my skin was so pale. Like, I did not look healthy, and it's sad to me, because I was just destroying my body, destroying it, in the sense that, like, I wasn't caring. But I'm super caring towards other people, but I couldn't do that for myself. And I think that's something that we really need to keep in mind, is that we're always so harsh on ourselves. We're always the first to put ourselves down. But as soon as we see, like, for example, if she ever tells me that she's putting herself down, I'm always the first to end that. And I'm like, no, don't think like that. I'm more motivational towards other people and not myself.
But you should be towards yourself
Exactly.
first.
You need to.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, without that strength within yourself, you can't uphold that strength for other people.
Exactly.
So that's for me, and it's a lot. So if you are struggling with an eating disorder, I highly suggest to get help. Because I've been in that point in my life, and it is really hard to get out of that. It is hard. It's hard to stop something that you've been doing for so long and erase those thoughts that you've been having in your mind for such a long period of time. So if it's something that's really affecting you, I really think that, like, you should reach out to somebody that you really care for.
Yeah.
Or someone that's professional.
There's so many professionals out there that can
so
help
many things you can do. Yeah.
A close friend, even, you know, someone you really trust and know that won't judge you for that.
Exactly.
Because there's a lot of people that don't understand eating disorders, you know?
Yeah.
Like, struggles when they're not going through it. It's not the same thing.
It's true. But it's tough, honestly. I find, like, now that we're talking about, like, body image, it's a very heavy topic. And especially if you struggled with it in an extent where it really affected not only your mental health, but the way like you perceive yourself, like you stop taking care of yourself to obtain an image that's impossible.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah. To me, my struggle is the complete opposite of Kim, and I talked about it with her, and I realized it's something I feel people wouldn't understand it being a struggle, because this is what most people want, but that's not what I want, you know?
Yeah.
So to me, I feel like I'm, not that I'm too skinny, but I feel skinny, you know? Like, I don't feel like super, super skinny, but I do. And this is often something people look at me in a weird way, and they're like, but why are you struggling with that, you know? Why are you insecure about that? Like, that's what I get that all the time. I get people always tell me, I don't know why you're so insecure, because everyone wants your body.
Yeah.
And it's like, but you don't understand how I feel personally, you know? Like, I get insecurities as well, no matter what people think is the perfect body out there, you know? Like, I don't have the biggest breasts, and I don't have the biggest butt either. And every time I pass in front of the mirror and I'm wearing something that is tight on me, I'm like, wow, it looks like a fucking chicken, you know? I always feel so skinny, even though I know I'm not like that. It's not to an extreme level, you know? But it is something that I struggle with. And there's this one time where I was filming a dance video with my friend just for fun, and she came to me the next day and she was like, yeah, like I showed it to my boyfriend and he was like, wow, that girl is so skinny, it's crazy. And it really got to me, because I'm like, am I that, like, I'm that skinny that like people have to, you know, mention it, you know? So to me, that was something that really hit me. But then again, it's an insecurity that I have, and I know I have to work on it. And, you know, everyone has their insecurities, you know? I feel like I see my bones sometimes and I'm like, fuck, like, should I eat more and stuff? And I do eat a lot. Like, don't get me wrong, I eat fucking a lot. I can't eat more than that. Like, I just get too full. And people think I don't eat. Everyone's always telling me, no, you don't eat enough. And I'm like, what do you know about that, you know? Like, I do eat a lot. It's just I have a fast metabolism. And I can't do anything about it, you know? These are things you can't change. And that you have to,
I know,
like, you have to set your mind, you have to have a mindset where you accept these insecurities, and you accept that these are gonna stay there for your entire life, you know? Unless you're someone who's like, you know what, I'm gonna work out because I feel good working out, and then you get results from that, you know? As long as your goal is not like, I'm doing it to impress people, that's where it's okay to do.
It's okay
if
to
you're
impress people?
No. If you're doing it to not...
Okay, you said if you're doing it to impress people.
Oh, okay. I'm so sorry. If you're doing it to...
impress yourself
and feel good about yourself, then go for it, to be honest. But don't ever do something to impress others, because that's where it becomes toxic, and that's where the insecurities pop out, you know?
I just want to add something to what were you saying, because I know someone close that has the same insecurity, and so I think this is a message to like people that, like, you know, sometimes what we don't have is a struggle for everyone. I think everyone has insecurities, even if they don't admit it. Because some people just don't want to admit it. They don't want people to know their insecurities, but we all have insecurities, whether we like it or not.
And it's normal.
Exactly. And I find also another thing, it's something that we should prevent ourselves from doing, like knowing that we have our own insecurities, that we shouldn't say certain things to other people. Like, for example, how she said that, like, the boyfriend was like, oh my god, she's so skinny. I know something exactly happened as well. Like, people used to always say, like, oh, you're so skinny, like, are you going through puberty? Like, what's going on? Like, do you even eat? And it's like, it's super insulting because it's like, for example, someone else who may weigh a little bit more but doesn't eat as much, and then you're telling them, like, they eat super healthy and they work out, and then you tell them, do you even work out? Do you even eat?
That is
like, do you
so
even not, like,
disrespectful.
exactly. So I think that even, like, if you think that, like, being skinny is, like, something that everybody wants, it might not be something everyone wants. Everybody has different wants and needs. Nobody has the same wants.
Yeah.
So I think we should be respectful on comments that we should make.
Be super careful with that.
Yeah.
A simple comment could change the entire vision of someone, you know? How someone portrays themselves.
Sticks to you. Like, for example, really you said that, like, this happened a while ago and you still think about it.
Exactly.
So those words can affect you and stick with you because you'll think about it in the future.
Yeah, and it's probably something the other person didn't mean to, you know, be mean about, but just the fact that you're stating it and letting the other person know that, hey, like, I realize that you're skinny. Are you eating, or have you worked out today? Like, that's just not something you should say at all.
Yeah, and also another thing, it's just everyone has different bodies, and, like, I don't think we should even have to comment on that. Every
bodies are different, and it's not because something or things you eat or workouts that you do work for you, that doesn't mean it's gonna work for another person, you know? Everyone, I keep seeing that that quote everywhere. It says, if we all ate the same thing and all worked out the same way, we would still be different.
Exactly.
So keep that in mind, because that's something that really helps. It helped me, actually, to know that, you know what, it's not because that person is eating super well and you are as well, and you don't see the same results, that it's bad. You know, it's actually really good because everyone's different.
Yeah, exactly. Talking about, like, working out and stuff, I think, like, we could talk about, like, our own journey with working out and, like, how it has affected us. Did you want to continue in that topic?
Sure. So, me personally, I've always been someone that was very active due to the fact that I dance. When I was younger, as a teenager mostly, I had practices and dance classes literally every day. So I would be very active. I would work out sometimes, but it would be in practices, you know? So to me, that was my activity, you know, that was my passion, and I was able to work out at the same time and get my body moving. And I think this is when I realized that, not that I wasn't taking care of my body, but it wasn't something I was focused on because it was just part of my routine, you know? And now with COVID, since dance schools are closed and we're doing everything through Zoom, I'm realizing that I have to take care of myself more, because as I said, it's just not something I was focusing on. And then when it stopped, I stopped moving, I stopped getting my body moving, and I felt a freaking big difference in my mood and my energy. I felt always tired. I felt like I wasn't motivated to do anything. So I started taking walks. You know, I think walks are very good for you. First of all, there's so many benefits through it, and it also gives you time to, you know, be on your own or talk with a friend and get fresh air. And me and Kim, actually, we started working out during COVID, and we would keep each other accountable all the time, okay? Like, we would do it every day. We would make sure the other person was ready on time. Every day we had to do
time the night before to, like, prep ourselves for the next day.
And we would, if one of us was like, you know what, I think I'm going to do this workout halfway through, the other person was like, no.
Yeah.
You're going to push, you're going to do it, you know?
We pushed each other when we knew the other other person needed pushing.
Because it's hard. It is hard doing it alone, you know, in your house, and
especially at home.
That's the worst. It's the worst thing, but it's actually really fun. We call each other on FaceTime, and then we do it.
It's so funny.
It feels so good.
Yeah.
It's
I'm smiling after we work out. Like, sometimes, like, for example, just this week, okay, was like my finals / midterms, and I was just a ball of stress, and, like, we worked out on Tuesday because unfortunately Monday we forgot. Like, both of us, we just forgot. Normally we're really good. We do every day, Monday to Friday. Yeah. And then we take a break Saturday and Sunday, but just Monday we were a little off. And so, like, I told her I was going to be a little bit off this week because of, like, my exams and stuff. But she told me, she's like, you should, you know? And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. So we did. We structured a time that was, like, not too much time where, like, I can still study, but still enough time where, like, I can just take care of my mental health. And I'm so thankful we did that, because I feel as though if I didn't work out this week, I would have felt, like, super miserable. And that's one thing for me, what working out has really shown me is that it helps me a lot, because I have kind of like bipolar depression in a sense. It's not like, it doesn't hit me all the time, but when it does, it just hits me, and I feel it amplified. So I'm not diagnosed, by the way, but I've diagnosed myself in the sense where I've done research and I feel that's how I am. But because it doesn't, like, one week I'll be completely fine, and then another week I'm, like, super terrible. So I feel that when I work out, I do not feel depressed, because I'm taking care of myself and putting my needs first. And I'm just crushing those feelings. I'm not, you know, putting myself down. And another thing, like, how she talked about, like, how she had an active lifestyle. For me, I didn't have, like, a crazy active lifestyle before. Because growing up, I did dance and soccer. And then once I quit, like, when I was, like, around 11, I kind of, like, I was more focused, like, being with friends. And, like, I tried going to, like, gyms to work out. But consistency for me was super hard. And I think that's why us working out together works so well, is because we keep each other accountable. And, like, whenever, like, I find, like, sometimes when you're working out by yourself, like, you're having an off day, or just like, oh, I'm not gonna work out today.
But it's so easy to just quit when you're
exactly on your own, you know? But, like, when you have somebody else, they're like, no, we're doing it today. So you have no choice. You're like, okay, I'm gonna do it today, whether you want to or not. And then you feel much better afterwards. It's just the getting to it that's a struggle.
I suggest you finding a workout buddy, or just a physical activity buddy, you know?
Yeah.
Sound
like you broke your neck. Oh my god, that was insane. Oh my god, that, like,
the clap?
No, did you not hear your back or your neck crack?
I thought you thought when I said physical activity buddy that I meant.
Oh no! I'm talking about your crack. You full on cracked. I don't know what, but it was like a.
What the hell?
It was a full on crack. It was like 3 cracks.
I don't know.
I don't even know if that was your neck, your back.
I have no idea. Probably my back. Actually, I've been a little sore. I feel like an old grandma sometimes.
So scary. Maybe you should get that checked out.
I know. I've been thinking about that. physio. Call me up, please. Yeah. But yeah, you mentioned mental health, and I think this is physical activity just in general helps your mental health 110%.
Working out, I believe, to really, really help with mental health, and I can personally say that it really does help because I have struggled with like depression, and I think also, like, for example, like it helps like when you're really stressed, when something's like over bottled in your mind, I find sometimes it can give you clarity.
Yes. Because you have time to, like, you know, put it aside while you're doing your activity or whatever, and then you think about it and you're like, oh, maybe it wasn't that bad actually.
Yeah, exactly. I can definitely sell that because when was it? It was like it was when I was kind of having my eating disorder, not gonna lie, but I would go to the gym like all the time. So I think that was also part of my eating disorder, but for me it helped a lot with like my mental states. Like I would go like almost 4 times a week. Like I went and I would stay like a good like hour and a half. Like I would stay there for a while because for me it was like me defeating my demons in a sense. It was like me like not thinking about my struggles and like just helping with like my body image that I was struggling with. But some of it was not the greatest. So like I don't support, you know, eating disorders because it's really not good for you. But I mean, working out, I really do think helps a lot, not only physically to feel better about yourself, but to feel better mentally as well, to feel happier, to feel more complete.
And by working out, we don't mean like an hour long workout. You know, it could only be like 5 to 10 minutes. Yeah. As long as it made you feel good.
Like for us, we do 20 minutes, but intense workouts. We do 20 like minutes, we like to get it out of the way, one shot. But we die. Don't get us wrong. We do intense like short workouts because for us short it's the and time.
Sweet.
Exactly.
But very intense.
Oh yeah, so intense. We did one yesterday.
Whew. We honestly thought we were gonna be sore, but actually I don't.
I think our body's just getting more like resistant to it.
I'm actually just sore in my. I feel it in my left cheek.
I feel it like on my thighs a little bit. Like if I really squeeze them, I feel how like they're a little sore.
But,
so to like end this off, I think an important note to take from this is that there is only one of you. So I think you should embrace this because no one else can do it like you. There's no one else in this world like
that has your body, that has your thinking, that is just you're your own person, and you really have to love your insecurities.
Yes.
You know? And this is what we were talking about earlier. I make a list of all your insecurities. You know, at first it's probably going to be a negative process because obviously it's not fun to talk about your insecurities, but then every day when you wake up, just think about these insecurities that you have and think about ways to, you know, make them, like, turn it into a positive thing. Yeah. You know?
Instead of looking at them negatively, look at them positive.
Yeah. You
like,
know,
if it's your stomach,
exactly.
If it's your stomach, just play with it. Just be like, oh my god, I fucking love my stomach.
Your hair is not perfect this morning. You know what? Yeah. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah. Like, not everybody has good hair days every day. If
everyone has bad hair days.
Oh,
everybody. Honestly, I think I have one good hair day per week.
Same.
But yeah, honestly, just try to think about yourself positively for a change, and you'll see how it's gonna make you feel better daily. We also want to mention that you have to treat your body the way you want other people to treat you.
Yes.
I think this is very important. Kim said earlier before the podcast, you know, like, you're all, oh no, you said it in the podcast, you know, you're always tempted to compliment others and always make sure the other person is doing great or isn't sad or whatever, but you have to do it for yourself in the first place, because you know, you have to take care of yourself. That's your priority, and then others will come. But yeah, just make sure you're good, and
without you having your strengths, things can't fall into place, because it's like, for example, if you build a bridge, if your bridge is not stable, it's obviously going to fall apart.
Yeah.
But if you have a stable bridge, it'll benefit for other people to walk upon. So people that come into your life and just things settling into place around you.
Yeah. So, yeah, just take care of your body, you know?
Take care, guys. And we hope that this has really helped you and like maybe open your eyes a little bit to be more positive towards yourself, and that look, everyone has insecurities, you're not alone at all. Like, look at us, we have our own insecurities as well, and we're not perfect. Nobody's perfect. So don't put yourselves up to those standards when they're unrealistic.
Nobody's perfect. I gotta work and get it till I get it right. Nobody's perfect.
Drop the mic.
Remember last episode we were talking about stages and stuff?
Oh yeah.
That I knew the entire performance. Like her hair flips, I knew exactly where they were. I knew where she walked on stage. I'm telling you, just be at Hannah Montana.
True fan.
You know, nobody's perfect.
No.
Well, thank you for watching this episode. We really hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to download. And this is something I have to say. If you're downloading our episodes and you're not following us on Instagram, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing? There's so much more downloads than we have followers on Instagram.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what?
But also, like, on our Instagram, we keep you updated on when things are to come.
Mm-hmm.
And also, you can give us, like, feedback. We're gonna start doing, like, things to incorporate you guys more, like, through our stories.
Yeah.
So to catch your opinions. So we'll be asking you guys questions simply because we want to know.
Want to interact more.
Yeah, and like we want to know what you guys want. At the end of the day, like we just want to have a platform that's beneficial not only for ourselves but as well for you. Like we're just trying to promote positivity and just good well-being all around. Yeah. So we want your feedback on that. We want, like, if you guys want us to talk more about a certain topic, like, or...
We're open about everything, to be honest.
We're really open. And we have a whole bunch of other topics, but if there's something else you guys want to talk about, we'll definitely give it a try, you know. We're open to trying new things.
Yeah. So thank you so much.
Thank you.